the Angel batting order reads this way. Roger Repoz will be in center field. Alex Johnson in left field batting second. Jim Fregosi at short. Jim Spencer will be at first base. Spencer at first batting fourth. Ken McMullen at third. Tony Conigliaro in right field. Tony C in right batting sixth. John Stephenson will do the catching. Stephenson behind the plate. Sandy Alomar at second. And the pitcher, Clyde Wright. And quickly for the Senators, Denny McLain has already worked his few warm-up tosses. Toby Harrah will be at short. Elliott Maddox in center. Frank Howard at first base. Dick Billings in left field batting fourth. Larry Biittner will be in right field. Paul Casanova will do the catching and bat sixth. Don Wert will be at third base. Tim Cullen at second base. Cullen at second batting eighth. And the pitcher, Denny McLain. So the Angels and the Senators complete it all here this evening, and right now, here's Dick.
Thank you, Don. Good evening, everybody. The first pitch of the game is fouled back on the screen by Repoz. Strike one. Denny McLain. Certainly the headline maker during the winter when he was traded here at World Series time in that startling deal that involved the entire left side of the Washington infield, Rodriguez and Brinkman going to Detroit. This one is swung on, a pop fly back a short. Out goes Harrah. In comes the left fielder Billings. He wants it, and Billings has got it for the first out. Repoz started tonight with a .250 average. Here's Alex Johnson batting .258. Alex has a modest 7-game hitting streak. He'll be followed by Jim Fregosi. McLain 4-8 with a 4.05 ERA, 13-8 lifetime against the Angels. First pitch is a strike. Fastball inside corner. Denny with that characteristic high kick. Broad-shouldered, stocky right-hander. Winds, one strike delivery. High, fastball, 1-1. As the lights have not taken their full effect, McLain may choose to stick more with his fastball early. He rocks into motion the 1-1 pitch. Outside with a breaking ball, first one he's thrown. 2-1. The catcher, Casanova, Wert, Harrah, Cullen, Howard on the infield, Billings, Maddox, and Biittner in the outfield. The pitch, low, 3-1. McLain pauses a moment as Johnson backs out. Now they're set. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, sliced fly ball back of first. Howard with a long run in foul territory. Can't get there. It's back a couple of rows down in the right field corner. 3-2 to Alex Johnson. Star for the Senators last night, Elliott Maddox, with a game-winning 3-run home run out in center field. He had some interesting comments after the game last night. He roomed with Alex's brother Ron Johnson at the University of Michigan. The pitch, slider outside, ball 4. Johnson walks, and with one out, here's shortstop Jim Fregosi. Frank Howard will hold on Alex Johnson. Fred Koenig reminds A.J. one away. Rocky Bridges threw a series of signs down at third. And Jim Spencer on deck. Fregosi hitting .226. Throw to first, and Johnson is back. Just seems as if the whole infield is leaning toward Frank Howard when he's positioned there. The pitch swung on and sliced back foul. Deep into the lower deck to the right. McLain with the 2 big years back-to-back in 68 and 69. In the Tigers' pennant-winning season, 68, he was 31-6, and the next year, 24-9. And then last year, with all his troubles, 3-5. The pitch, swung on, pop fly behind home plate. Casanova whips the mask away. He's under it, and on the warning track makes the catch. Fregosi fouls out to the catcher, 2 away. Johnson at first base, and here's first baseman Jim Spencer. It's interesting to hear on his own pregame show, a 5-minute broadcast before the Washington ball games tonight, and he was asked about the Angel Ball Club and how he analyzed their situation, and he talked of hitting balance, having right and left-handed power in the lineup, thrown by McLain out in time to scare Johnson at all. And he said when you have all right-handed hitters, as was the case when the season began with the Angels, except for Jim Spencer, then you have to figure Spencer's going to hit big. The pitch, outside and low with a fastball. And when he has trouble getting his hits, then that really causes troubles. And as has been the case, Lefty Phillips has had to go to a more platoon system, getting left-handed hitters like Stephenson and Repoz in the lineup. The Angels hope that Spencer, with his good swing, and Williams commented upon just that he feels that Spencer is one of the bright young hitters in this league, will get going. Swung on a drive to right field. It's hit well down in the corner. Right fielder Biittner deep in the corner, and he makes the catch as he crosses into foul territory. The ball died down in front of the 3:35 sign. Spencer fouls deep to right. The Angels leave a man in a hitless first inning, and after a half, Angels nothing, Washington coming to bat.
When you say Bud, you've said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say Bud, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. When you say Bud, you've said the word that means you like to do it all. When you say Bud, it means you want the beer that's got a taste that's number one. When you say Bud, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say Bud, you say you care enough to only want the king of beer. There is no other one. There's only something left. Because the king of beer is leading on the rest. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
Clyde Wright trying to get above the 500 level personally. He's won 4 and lost 4. His ERA a sparkling 2.95. Tunes up with catcher John Stephenson. Stephenson throws through to the second baseman Sandy Alomar, then to Fregosi and McMullen, and on to the pitcher Jim Spencer at first base. Outfield Johnson in left, Repoz in center, Tony Conigliaro in right field. Shortstop Toby Harrah in the number 1 spot in the batting order tonight. He has a 7-game hitting streak. He's batting .242. Harrah just 22 years old. He and Larry Biittner have been very impressive, the two youngsters in the Washington lineup in this series. Right into the windup, his first pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Harrah, Maddox, and Howard, as Williams juggles his lineup to get a lot of right-handed batters in against Clyde Wright. Angel southpaw winds, kicks, here it comes. High and away, ball 2. The flag atop the double-deck stadium here in Washington is blowing in a bit. Right winds, the 2-0 pitch. Taken all away, ball 3. Harrah bluffing a bunt to try to disturb the concentration of Clyde Wright. And he falls behind the leadoff man, 3-0. Right into the windup. Left-hander delivers. All the way, taken for a strike. Fastball aimed down the middle, 3-1 to Harrah, who bothers not to look at third base coach Wayne Terwilliger, so apparently he's taking 3-1 as well. Nellie Fox coaching at first for the Nats. 3-1 pitch. Oh, he was swinging, and he fouls it away. That'll be over the Senator dugout on the first base side. 3-2 to Toby Harrah. Well, yesterday it was clear and low humidity. Today, hazy overcast, and it was typical Washington August high humidity heat. Good pitching weather. The 3-2 pitch. Outside with a fastball, and Harrah walks. Leadoff man on for the Senators. Here's Elliott Maddox, who hit his first home run as a Senator last night, and it came with 2 men on base against Dave LaRoche, and proved to be an insurmountable lead for the Senators at the time, as it gave them a 6-2 advantage. The Angels got 3 runs in the 8th and had the tying run at 3rd and only 1 out in the 9th, but could not force the Senators to come to bat in the bottom of the 9th. Harrah with a good lead. Wright staring at him, delivers. Fastball for a strike. Outside corner. Infield looking for a double play chance. Maddox, along with Don Wert, came to the Senators with Denny McLain in that trade with Detroit. Throw to first base. And it's not close enough for a tag by Spencer. Merle McRae, a pitcher, was the other acquisition, with Coleman, Brinkman, and Rodriguez, and Hannon going to Detroit. This one is lined into right field for a base hit. Hanna on his horse is around second. Up at the ball is Conigliaro, and Harrah has to put on the brakes and go back to second base as Tony C's fast fielding holds the Senators' lead runner. But Maddox on a curveball, off balance, just shot the ball to right field, and here comes the big guy, Frank Howard, with runners at first and second, and no one out in the first inning. Howard playing first base tonight. He's hitting .293, best of any of the regular Washington players. He has 6 home runs, leads in that department 19 runs batted in. Howard had a couple of base hits last night, a single and a double. Shift is on, not quite as drastic, with runners at second and first. The pitch, curve way outside, ball 1. Alomar is playing behind second base on the edge of the grass. Fregosi midway between second and third, and McMullen hugging the line deep at third base. Outfield very deep and swung toward left field. Runners at second and first, no one out. The pitch, outside with a fastball, 2-0. Wright involved in an early jam. Harrah with the leadoff walk, and Maddox with a single to right field. Occupies second and first. No one out, and 2-0 the count on Howard. Wright sets, double checks the pitch. Strike. Fastball taken by Howard. He kept it away from Frank. Howard called the strongest baseball player that Ted Williams has ever seen. He has to be the biggest in the major leagues. 6'7" and about 280. The 2-1 pitch. Low. 3 balls and a strike. On deck, young Dick Billings, right-handed hitter. Harrah from second. Maddox from first base. They have their lead. A big pitch, 3-1. Howard swinging if he likes it. Here it comes. He takes low, ball 4. The Senators have the bases loaded against Clyde Wright in the first inning on 2 walks and a single. And here's Dick Billings, the left fielder, batting .283, another of the Senator youngsters. Although he does not have the youth that the 22-year-old Harrah enjoys, or Biittner on deck at 24. He's a graduate of Michigan State, and he is 28 years old, right-handed batter. With Denver last year, he hit .305, 15 home runs. Right pitch, low, ball 1. Harrah at third, Maddox at second, Howard at first. No one out, Senator first inning, no score. And Washington with a chance to take the early advantage. Infield playing back. They'll give up a run for a chance at a double play. Kickoff move at second, and they don't get him, and the throw gets away. Here comes the runner, Harrah. He scores. Fregosi picks up the ball behind his position at shortstop. They had a good chance at Maddox as Alomar slipped in from second base, but the throw hit Maddox and ricocheted behind Fregosi out at deep shortstop, and Harrah alertly sped in from third with the first run of the game. Wright is charged with an error, and the Senators, on 2 walks, a single, and an error, have a run without an out recorded yet. Maddox stayed at second, Howard at first. Good heady play by Harrah. He was ready to go as soon as the ball got away. Did not hesitate. Wright delivered. Swung on, a bouncer to short. Fregosi goes to second for 1. Alomar to first, not in time. Safe on the fielder's choice is Billings. Howard erased, 6-4. And Maddox moves to third. 1-0 Senators. Runners at third and first, 1 out. And right fielder Larry Biittner, who has been on a tear the last week, is the hitter. Left-handed batter, first baseman sent into the outfield by Ted Williams. Biittner has a 6-game streak in which he has 12 hits in the 6 games and is batting .571. Overall, since being recalled from Denver, his average is .394. Runners lead from the corners. Wright delivers. Strike. Fastball knee high. Again, the infield playing back for the double play. Spencer holding the runner at first base. Dick Billings. On deck, Paul Casanova, the catcher. Right set. Here's the pitch. Curve inside. 1-1. Didn't break much, and Billings waiting for it to break. Almost waited too long. Nearly hit him. Outfield playing Billings straight away and giving him both lines. Tony C way off the line and right, not expecting him to pull. Maddox from third, Billings from first. The pitch swung on and missed. Fastball sinking, and the count 1-2. The Senators, who had an atrocious month of May, getting June off to the right start after closing out May with a win, 4-0 against the Angels on Memorial Day, and winning last night 6-5. They get a 1-0 lead early tonight. Fastball low, 2-2 to Biittner. The Angels, meanwhile, winning only 2 and losing 5 on this road trip, now find themselves 10.5 games behind Oakland and in a tie with Milwaukee for 4th place, just a game and a half in front of Chicago. The Senators are 9.5 behind Boston and Baltimore at the beginning of play tonight. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And for the first time in the series, Biittner did not look good. Wright had him fooled. Kept the ball low and got him on low fastball. 1 strikeout for Clyde Wright, who comes at a big spot. And here's Paul Casanova hitting .235. The Nats can't get the run on the out. Infield can move back a little deeper. Maddox still at third and Billings at first. A run in, a couple of walks, a single, and an error in the first inning. Right from the stretch, looks at Billings, the pitch. Swung on, bounced to the right side. Alomar has to charge the ball. His hurried throw in time to get Casanova, and Wright pitches out of it. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. And after 1, the Washington Senators won, the California Angels nothing. A word now from Continental Airlines about promises, because keeping promises is a big thing at Continental. Continental promises you a coach or economy seat as wide as first class, and they guarantee it. They're all that wide, you know, on all of Continental 707 and all their 727 Sanchets. Maybe some airlines promise you a wide seat, and you just find it doesn't happen to be available on the particular flight you're on. Or some airlines will promise a handy table that folds down over the middle seat, but then somebody comes and sits in that seat. Well, that's reason enough for specifying Continental Airlines every time you fly. Because at Continental, keeping promises is a matter of pride. And they promise you a coach or economy seat as wide as first class, and they guarantee it. Call Continental or call their partner in getting things done for you, your travel agent. Fly Continental Airlines, a proud bird with a golden tail. 1-0 Washington, top of the second. Ken McMullen leads it off for the Angels. Mac, who celebrated his 29th birthday last night with a home run and an RBI single, is hitting .245. Speaking of birthdays, Jim Maloney will light 31 candles tonight as Maloney celebrates his birthday. Fastball for a strike from Denny McLain, 0-1. McLain, only 27. His pitch from the side is a curveball outside, 1-1. McLain will come over the top. He'll come 3/4, sometimes all the way from the side and crossfire. He's ready. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball ripped on 1 hop to the shortstop, Harrah. He's got it. Throw to first in time. And Harrah, handcuffed, was able to juggle that drive off McMullen's bat. Get a second chance at it. It was hit so hard that he still had time to throw out McMullen. Tony Conigliaro, hitting .235 with 4 home runs, steps in. John Stephenson to follow. McLain working quickly, delivers. Swung on and fouled high out of play. That one sailing back down into the lower tier, skips around, through a few hands. The Angels and Washington, an off day tomorrow. Washington will host Oakland over the weekend, and the Angels go up to the Fens and meet the Boston Red Sox Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Sunday. Sunday's game televised. KTLA Channel 5 beginning at 10:30. The one-strike pitch, change inside, a straight change, 1-1. Right back comes McLain from the side. It's bounced over his head behind second. Harrah can't get it. Cullen comes up with it. His throw to first, not in time. The shortstop and second baseman crisscrossing behind the bag at second. McMullen came up with it, juggled for a moment, and then from the shortstop side, the second baseman firing off balance but not in time. An infield hit for Conigliaro, the first hit off McLain. And with one out, here's John Stephenson. Stephenson's average, .325. McLain from the set position, the pitch. Swung on line, drive, base hit center field. Conigliaro has a chance to make third. He's on his way. Up with the ball is Maddox. Here comes the throw. Conigliaro slides in safely. On a single to center field by John Stephenson. And for Stephenson, that breaks a string of 13 straight outs. Conigliaro able to motor to third, where an out can now score Tony C with a tying run. Conigliaro with a late slide seemed to jam his foot into the bag as he made his slide, but he's all right. Stephenson at first base. So back-to-back singles by Tony C and Stephenson. Speaking of ending batting slumps, how about Louis Aparicio? He finally got a hit after 44 straight outs. Of all the people in the American League that you would say, who is going to go into a slump like that, you wouldn't guess Aparicio. With his speed, he figures to get just some leg hits. Here's Sandy Alomar. He swings, line drive, base hit center field. Conigliaro scores. There goes Stephenson to third. Here's the throw by Maddox. It's cut off by the shortstop, and the Angels have runners at the corners, and the game is tied at 1 apiece. Alomar, last night, suddenly seemed to find that hitting stroke. He singled twice sharply up the middle, and on the first pitch from McLain, lines the single to center field. His 20th RBI, and Sandy Alomar again leads the Angels and runs batted in. Tony C scoring from third, and Stephenson around to third. And with one out, here's Clyde Wright with a chance to give his ball club the lead. Pitch by McLain. Breaking ball low and outside. Backhanded by Casanova. Infield playing back with the exception of third baseman Don Wert. He's bagged high. He would come to the plate. The pitch. Swung on. Hit off home plate up the third baseline. Foul. Casanova gloves it as he moves into the fungo circle to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike to Clyde Wright, who has 1 RBI this year, 4 hits, and 31 at bats. That figures out at 129. McLain with 4 victories and 8 losses, and although the fans still find him with a bit of glamour, some of the reporters starting to get a little nasty regarding McLain. There goes Alomar. The pitch is high and inside. Casanova throws to third, but no play there. Alomar has his 12th stolen base. Casanova threw out Sandy last night, only the second time that's been done this year. So Alomar with a stolen base is at second. Stephenson alertly, and as a catcher, he knew what Casanova might be thinking, bluffing the throw to second, try to pick him off third. He was hinged to the bag. Now the infield moves in. The pitch swung on line, drive, base hit right field. Biittner plays it on 1 hop. 1 run scores. Here comes Alomar. Here comes the throw. Close play. Alomar is out of it. A line drive base hit. And Biittner charging the ball, got it on the first hop, and it was not too far from home plate at that point because Biittner was playing in for Clyde Wright. Got a perfect 1-hop throw that got to Casanova, although it was to the first base side. But Casanova received the ball and then making a dive was able to get the glove on the toes of Alomar as he made a slide to the plate. The Angels then get 1 run as Stephenson scores. Alomar raced 9-2 on Clyde Wright's RBI single to right field. The Angels with 4 straight singles off Denny McLain take the lead 2-1 in the second. Repoz the hitter. Curveball swung on and fouled out of play. Gogolewski begins to throw in the Washington bullpen. Clyde Wright has his 2nd RBI of the year. Repoz flying to left, his first at bat. Clyde Wright at first. Howard playing behind him. So after McMullen hit the ball hard to the shortstop Harrah for an out, And Conigliaro, Stephenson, Alomar, and Wright single in order. The pitch high over the head of Repoz with a breaking ball, 1-1. McLain reading Casanova. Says no, not yet. Wright with a safety lead. The pitch high curveball. Again, he floated one up around the eyes of Repoz. 2-1 to Roger. Alomar got a good break from second base. But it was a matter of that line drive of Wright's getting out to Biittner in a hurry, one hop, and relayed right back in to Casanova, and just in time to nip Alomar. The pitch swung on, popped up. High on the right side. Cullen comes down from second on the infield grass behind the mound, makes the catch. In the inning, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. And after an inning and a half in Washington, the Angels 2, the Senators 1.
Hello, small car expert. You're on the air. You want to turn your radio down, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. A small car expert, did you tell that last caller that there's a perfect Datsun for everyone?
Yes, I did. Small car expert, you're on the air.
I'm looking for a zippy 2-door sedan.
Try the Datsun 510. Goes from 0 to 60 in less than 14 seconds.
But it's got to be comfortable.
It is. Small car expert.
Listen, I've had it with my small cars. Kids climbing on me, dog with a hot tongue panting all over the back seat. I need more room.
I'd suggest the Datsun 510 4-door. Plenty of room and at a very low cost.
How about a station wagon?
Datsun makes a 5-door wagon. Plenty of extras included in the purchase price.
Does Datsun make a truck?
Yep, the perfect pickup. Little Hustler, America's best-selling import truck. Listen, I got to take another call. Anything else?
Yeah, is my husband with you?
Drive a Datsun, then decide.
Be sure to see the full line of Datsuns at Auto Expo Sports Arena now through June the 6th. 2-1, the Angels lead after an inning and a half. Washington will send Wert, Cullen, and McLain to face Clyde Wright in the bottom of the second inning. Before we get to the action, let's pause for KCHV in Indio Palm Springs and all our Angel stations. Station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. This is KMND Radio in Mesa, Arizona. It's 1 minute before 5 o'clock. The Mesa Community College baseball game coming up this afternoon on KMND FM at 6:45. 6:45 at 93.3 on your dial. Now back to Washington.
Don Wert, little right-handed hitter, waits as Clyde Wright winds his pitch. Strike. Fastball outside corner. Wert batting .077. Also a slow start with the Senators. He has just 2 hits in 26 at-bats. Outfield playing him to pull. Wright winds. Here it comes. Scrooge misses outside. 1-1. Wert has been an enigma. He's had some great seasons and then some years where he couldn't come close to getting a hit. This one is ripped on 2 hops to Fregosi. He's up with it right in position. Throws quickly to first for the out. Wert out 6-3. Tim Cullen, the second baseman, batting .176. But Cullen in this series has been tough to keep off base. He had 2 walks and an infield hit in the first game, and last night 2 walks and 2 hits. So he is 3 for 4. And has been on base 7 of 8 times in the series. Right-handed batter. Chokes up on the handle, close stance, stands right up on the plate. Curve misses the outside corner, ball 1. Denny McLain to follow. A 2-1 Angel lead. Wright winds. The pitch. Strike with a fastball, 1-1. Wright appears to have better rhythm than he did in New York, and Clyde complained about the slope of the mound at Yankee Stadium. He said he just never felt that he could get all of his timing together, that the drop-off leading to the plate was so quick that he seemed to be stumbling. This one is slicing foul down the right field line and way back into the seats. The count of ball and 2 strikes to Tim Cullen. Well, Jim Maloney celebrating his 31st birthday, but he is not the happiest man in the ballpark tonight in an Angel uniform. That honor goes to Chico Ruiz. 1-2 pitch, Scrooge low. Chico visited the Mexican embassy today and has learned that a visa has been arranged and his parents will be able to visit him from Cuba. The 2-2 pitch by Wright. Curveball, check swing roller up the third baseline. McMullen handles it at the cut of the grass. The throw to first, dug out by Spencer in time for the out. Ball took a funny bounce as it came to McMullen. He was looking for it right on the chalk line, and he had moved very quickly to his left to glove it, as it took a angular hop to his left. Chico will fly out of Boston Sunday night to Mexico City, and within a couple of weeks, his parents, both around 65 years of age, will be able to fly out of Cuba, through Mexico, to Chico's home in San Diego. The pitch to McLain, swung on and missed. It will be the first time that he has seen his parents in over 10 years, and he was so happy there were tears in his eyes. Right lines, one strike pitch. Curve, strike two calls. Big breaking curve that nibbled the outside corner. 0-2 to McLain. He's hitting 130, has 3 hits and 23 at-bats, but has driven in 6 runs. He has a triple. Wears number 17 in red on the back of his white flannels. No one on, 2 outs. Senator second inning. 2-1 Angels. And the 2-strike pitch. McLain swings and lines it to right field. Conigliaro's right there, however, to stab it with one hand as he moved to his left. McLain lines out, and the Senators are out 1-2-3 in the second. After 2 at Kennedy Stadium, Angels 2, Washington 1.
Say, here's a money-saving idea from the men at the side of the Chevron. Why don't you let them give you a worry-free head start on the holiday weekend and summer driving ahead by checking your tires right now? Then check their Memorial Day specials on quality Atlas tires now on sale. The Plycron 2+2, for example. 2 belts of fiberglass plus 2 plies of tough polyester cord. Or the HP, the road-hugging performance tire with extra miles built in. The Plycron, the popular full 4-ply round tire. And for light trucks, the rugged traction truck tire. All on sale right now. And for better tire mileage, take advantage of the savings on Atlas shocks and Atlas load boosters. Remember, you can charge all Atlas tires and accessories on your Chevron National Travel Card. And also budget terms are available. So for unlimited driving pleasure and safety, take advantage of this limited time sale offer. Right now at all standard stations and participating Chevron dealers.
2-1, the Angels lead, top of the third, and with more action, here's Don Wert.
Thank you, Dick. Alex Johnson leads it off, and Alex had walked his first time out. Here's a smash up the middle for a base hit. So Denny McLain throws the curve here to Alex and got it up in his eyes, and Alex Johnson went to work on it and slugs this one up the center. So Alex is 1 for 1. The batter will be shortstop Jim Fregosi, and in the Jim's first trip to the plate, he had fouled out to the catcher Casanova. And the on-deck man then will be Jim Spencer. For the Angels, 2 runs, 5 hits. Washington, 1 run, 1 hit off Clyde Wright over the first 2. A.J. away to his lead. He goes. The pitch is cut on and hammered foul up on the screen, and Johnson taking off in a hurry. Fast acceleration as McLain didn't pay too much attention to him. Well, Denny's next pitching assignment will be on Sunday, and he almost committed the balk right there. He was very close to being in contact with the pitching rubber, and the ball spilled out of his glove. And had he been in contact with it, Alex would have been awarded second base. Sidearm curve in for a strike, and the count is 0-2. But Denny on Sunday will work against the Oakland Ball Club, and he will go against the sensational Vida Blue. It'll be the day game on Sunday. Alex wanders out to his lead. And the pitch to Fregosi, swung on ground ball toward third. Picked up by Wert, plays it to Cullen, 1 on the first, double play. So the Angels, in a hurry, have 2 away in the third, and the batter will be Jim Spencer. Jim hit one down the right field line that finally carried a foot or so into foul territory in the corner, and Larry Biittner took care of it. It's 335 feet down the lines here at Kennedy Stadium. 378 to right center out in front of the Giant scoreboard. The pitch to Spencer way up over his head, ball 1. 381 in the left center field, and in the dead center field, 410 feet in this completely enclosed park. Spencer hitting 181, starting out the evening's play. The 1-0 pitch. And there's the curve that breaks through for a strike. Let her high to make it 1-1. 2 down for the Angels. They lead it 2-1 here in the third. McLain, the hasty worker again. He started the rock into the motion, but then he saw Casanova make one other sign. The 1-1 delivery now off the curve, a line drive out of the right center field. That ball is settling in quickly for a base hit. It almost spins its way by Maddox, but Kelly able to reach out to his right to glove it quickly. So Jim Spencer lays a line drive into right center. The Angels now have 6 hits. And the batter will be Ken McMullen. Mack had grounded to short in the second. The Angels in double figures in the hitting department out here last night, despite the loss. Quick curve in the dirt, ball 1. Wherever their team batting average, the same as when the series got underway. Team figure 222. 1-0 delivery, missed inside ball 2, and it's 2-0. So the Angels with a base runner to begin with, Alex, and then Fregosi's double play. Sidearm curve, and it is low, ball 3, 3-0, off speed. Denny with a 3-0 pitch, in for a strike, 3-1. McLain doesn't make much of a hesitation at the belt. When he comes down in that area, the hitter better be ready, because he doesn't pause very long. Spencer about 5 feet away from the bag at first, a little bit more now. The next one is cut out, a miss. Good breaking ball here, 3-2. So McLain, who had not been staked to a run in his last 2 starts, Senators gave him one to work with in the first inning. And Denny trying to break out of a personal 3-game losing streak. 3-2 delivery low with it, ball 4. So Spencer goes to second base. Ken McMullen moves along the line to first base. The batter will be Tony Conigliaro, and Tony with 1 out in the second. Tap one over the mound out of the reach of McLain. Second baseman Cullen, in cutting in front of the bag, finally made contact with it. But by this time, he had carried well beyond second base, going toward short. So no chance to try to throw it across his body to nail Tony Conigliaro. And the infield hit was the gate opener there, John Stephenson. Then on a high fastball that McLain threw right up over the top. Hit a line drive to right center. Swing and a miss there by Tony on a slider for strike 1. Sandy Alomar then followed with a base hit, and that too came on a high fastball to Alomar. But McLain again, in dealing with Alomar, batting left-handed, he came right up over the top of the pitch. Then Clyde Wright with his single into right field, and Alomar was thrown out at the plate. 1 strike pitch hit him on the hands, and he runs us up toward the press box off to our right. Strike 2. Nothing and 2 count on Conigliaro. Runners at first and second. The walk to McMullen, the second issued by McLain this evening. Denny, who wears contact lenses, squints through here to Casanova for the sign and the 2-strike pitch. Tony C drives it high in the air out in left field. It may be playable. Billings coming to the line, just across the line, and grabs this. About 10 feet foul for the out. So sky-high fly ball down the left field line off the bat of Conigliaro, and that takes care of things for the Californians. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, a pair left. And the score at the end of the top of the third, Angels 2, Washington 1.
When you say, 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 but you said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say, but you say you want the beer that's got a taste that's number 1. When you say, but you say the words that mean you like to do it all. When you say but, it means you care enough to only want the king of beer. There is no other one, there's only something less, because the king of beer is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, when you say Budweiser, when you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Last of the third from Kennedy Memorial Stadium. One of the feature stories for baseball that came out of New York following Vida Blues' performance against the Yankees, the fact that Vida Blue is driving around Fun City today in a new baby blue Cadillac convertible, compliments of owner Charlie Finley. In fact, the story had it that Charlie chipped in an extra $25 and purchased a personalized California license plate reading blue. And the brainstorm got a hold of Finley as he was watching his 21-year-old left-hander beat the Yankees 5-2 last night. And Vida said to Mr. Finley, thank you, but he refused to get carried away. He said, I'm not really the type. I don't care what it is, just so long as it gets me to the ballpark and back. First delivery here to Toby Harrah, the leadoff man and shortstop, and Clyde throws it outside, ball one. And the thing worrying Vida Blue is whether he can afford to run the car on his salary of just over the minimum of $12,750. Pitch is cut on, ground ball toward short. Going to be tough here for Fregosi, deep in the hole. Strong throw to first base to get him. No, and now the electric claims that Jim Spencer was not in contact with the bag. Going to be short as the base hit for Toby Harrah. And Jim Spencer vacated first base a little too early. Jim Fregosi gunned to throw to first base. It appears that they had Toby Harrah, but Jim trying to make that quick move away from the bag. And this spotted immediately, so Toby Harrah is rewarded with an infield hit. The batter will be center fielder Elliott Maddox, and Ellie with a base hit his first time up. So that is only the second hit given up by Wright here in the last of the third now. Curve high and outside, ball one. Frank Howard, with that Turkish towel out, Frank's a very nervous individual and perspires a great deal. And, of course, the humidity reading being a little bit higher this evening than it has been first two games of the series. And uses that to wipe off those massive arms. Curve across the knees for a strike to make it 1-1. And Frank taking care of that chore right now as he watches Clyde Wright here deal with Elliott Maddox. The outfield around slightly to the left for Maddox. Harrah's lead, the pitch. Fastball, clipped foul. This will arc its way up into the second tier off to our right, and then ricochet down below, and the count goes to ball one and strike two. The strange part of the scheduling in the league, after the big fracas at Comiskey Park, Chicago, involving the White Sox fan and Don Buford of the Baltimore players, and then a little cool-off period because even though Baltimore remained in town, they had an off day yesterday, and they play again tonight. 1-2 pitch after the curve, smash back to right, picks it off, fires to Alomar high, but Sandy makes the force there, guns the throw to Spencer to complete the double play. So the Angels register one here. The ball was smashed hard by Elliott Maddox, but right on the line back to Skeeter Wright. It stuck in the glove very quickly, and he managed to wheel and fire accurately to Sandy Alomar. And Sandy then on to Spencer, and the Angels have a twin killing of their own. Two down, here's Frank Howard. Frank walked in the first inning. Right delivery, off-speed curve, in for a strike to make it 0-1. And the manager of the Orioles, Earl Weaver, indicated that Don Buford would be in the Oriole lineup tonight. The one-strike pitch tapped foul off the head of the bat to the right side of the plate. Strike two. The motion and the delivery by Clyde. Curve, low and outside, ball one. 1-2. So Don Buford will be playing in left field tonight for the Birds in Chicago. But they had that little safety valve period, and now we'll see if it works. With the off day, and a peculiar off day to come in the middle of the series. 1-2, delivery now to Howard, goes after it, bounces it to the right side, it goes by the only man guarding the right side, Jim Spencer, base hit. So as the Angels stacked Alomar, Fregosi, and McMullen be playing second and third, Frank Howard going after a curve thrown by Wright, and got it well out of the reach of Jim Spencer. 3 hits given up by Wright. Here's the left fielder, Dick Billings. Dick Nelson points out it's getting a little bit murky here in the ballpark. Humidity has something to do with it. But it may have been our ride from the ballpark back to the Washington Hilton Hotel last night that added to it. Dick Billings takes the strike over the outer edge, 0-1. Dick with a rental car. And we thought it was going... Truthful, it was thought it was going to catch on fire. and we still had about a mile to go before we got to the hotel. One strike delivery, checks and takes it low, 1-1. The fan belt slipped off, so now the car's overheating. And then when the valve started to pound that little rhythm on the drum, it got to be a little deafening, Dick.
That was the Candy-Cameron scene as we went down the streets of Washington.
Here's the 1-1 delivery now to Billings, and it's foul back off the mask of Larry Biittner. This combination really of steam and smoke coming out from under the hood, and the funniest scene of all, we pulled up to a construction site as we were headed for Connecticut Avenue, and there was a young man standing there with a flag to indicate whether you could pass, whether cars could pass or not. They had this huge crane, and the rear end of the crane was kind of turning itself onto the intersection, so he had to hold up traffic from time to time. 1-2 pitch, Howard goes, ground ball hit up the middle, but Fregosi goes for it, and Jim Clay will be to first base in time. So Billings grounds out short to first, and the young man stood there with a flag, and we were forced to stop because of the position of the crane, but he wanted us to go. He wanted to wave that thing because when he saw all the smoke pouring out from under the hood, he thought certainly that he was going to go up with us. But we managed to finally get back within range of the hotel, and Dick Nelson did the job, I'll tell you that. He stood around and watched it smoke and steam.
The punchline was when he finally got it back to the hotel after it had stalled and died a couple of times, he couldn't get it to stop. He'd turn off the ignition and it kept buttering and boiling out all that smoke.
Well, the third inning has stopped right here. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, a man left, and the score at the end of 3, Angels 2, Washington 1. You know, even though players have numbers on their uniforms, no player likes to be thought of merely as a number, and neither does an airline passenger. But word has got around that you are a number when you fly on a 747. Well, perhaps that is the case on some, but never on Continentals, because Continental's intimate 747 is almost as warm and personal as a friend's home. And it's, of course, the little things that make it that way. The same gracious hostesses who greet you as you come aboard also serve you throughout the flight. The directors of passenger service are especially helpful people. You enjoy first-class legroom in all coach and economy seats, plus 3 lounges exclusively for coach and economy passengers. Continental 747s depart every day for Honolulu, leaving at 10 a.m. and 12:20 p.m. So see your travel agent or telephone Continental, the proud bird of the Pacific. John Stephenson, the batter, in the first delivery term, settled low for ball 1, and then the next pitch to him, John rips one down the right field line. It's going to be fair in the corner, and this one bounces over the fence, a ground rule double for Stephenson. So John is 2 for 2 off McLain. Got the fastball the first time, the curveball here, so he's handled 2 pitches well. Here comes Sandy Alomar. So John Stephenson, who had been having his problems lately, and now coming up against the veteran right-hander Denny McLain, has given him some personal punishment. Here's Alomar. Sandy, too, got the right over the top fastball from McLain for the base hit in the right center field in the second inning. And the pitch. Fastball low with this one, but in the strike zone across the knees to make it 0-1. So Alomar with a chance to get Stephenson home here. The Angels lead 2-1 in the 4th inning. And we'll bring you up to date on some of the other games as we go along here in the 4th. McLain works again. Alomar swings. Ground ball at Howard. Backhands. Goes to third. And the tag is made on Stephenson. So Frank Howard, the Washington Monument, picks this one off. A good backhanded shot. Saw Stephenson going for third, and he gunned him down. And John Stephenson, a man with a very surprised look on his face as he came in standing, and he almost danced with Don Wert. They did a little fast shuffle there as Wert applied the tag. So on the fielder's choice, Alomar is at first base, and Stephenson is a gunner. And the batter will be Angel pitcher Clyde Wright. In the first of 2, Cubs at Cincinnati, they're tied 2-2 at the end of 6. That's Hands against Wilcox. St. Louis at Pittsburgh getting underway. Cleveland against Walker. Houston being entertained by Atlanta tonight. Wilson against Reed. Toss over to first base. Alomar back. Sandy picked up his 12th stolen base in the second inning. Philadelphia will be at San Diego. And Montreal at Los Angeles. Today the Mets beat San Francisco 5-2. Alomar goes. The pitch inside. Throw through to second base. He guns him down. Sandy is right high about it. The call. There was a photo finish there. It appeared that Alomar had it beaten. It was a strong throw by Casanova. Say that for the man working behind the plate. He didn't throw it off target. So one of baseball's greatest moments of excitement with Casanova up and firing and Alomar going, trying for his 13th stolen base. But he is out of there, and the Angels have 2 away. Clyde Wright remains at the plate, and the next delivery to Clyde, low with it, ball 2, 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Peter takes it high and tight, ball 3. Gogolusky gets up and throws to the bullpen again. Next delivery in for a strike, so it pops out of the mid of Casanova. 3-1. Flying from Los Angeles to Denver is quick and very easy on Continental with 8 non-stops daily. 3-1 pitch. Right taking all the way for a strike, 3-2. Young man working in the bullpen, Billy Gogolusky, is about due for a rather long stretch of service activity. 3-2 pitch. Clyde sails the fly ball shallow into right center field. Easing over for it, Larry Biittner, and Larry makes the catch to retire the side. So the Angels started it off with Stephenson's 2-base hit. But the whole thing turns out to be another story for him here in the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and nobody left out there. And the score at the end of the top of the 4th, Angels 2, Washington 1.
Small car expert, you're on the air.
I've been waiting for an hour to talk to you, and I'm calling from...
Small car expert, go ahead, but don't be nasty.
Hey, I've been listening to your show for weeks now, and you say there's a perfect Datsun for everybody.
Yeah, what's your point, sir? I've got other calls.
What about perfect economy?
The Datsun 1200 two-door sedan. It's the little something.
That's about perfect styling.
You can't beat the something special, the Datsun two-door coupe.
You can beat it, but you'd probably dent up the hood. You get it?
Small car expert.
I was listening to that last guy, about a whole line of perfect Datsun.
Uh-huh.
Well, what about perfect convenience?
The Datsun 5-door station wagon. It's a kick to drive.
Well, perfect performance.
I'd have to say the Datsun 240Z, hottest-selling GT around.
How about perfect comfort?
The Datsun 510s, the 2- and 4-door sedans.
Well, sounds like a perfect line, all right.
Wait, you didn't ask about the Datsun pickup truck.
I don't care about the Datsun pickup truck.
Drive a Datsun, then decide.
Be sure to see the full line of Datsuns at Auto Expo Sports Arena now through June the 6th.
Move to the last half of the 4th now with Larry Biittner, Paul Casanova, and Don Wert. The men scheduled to face Clyde Wright. Tony C in right field, Roger Repoz in center. Repoz working a step or two toward left center field and moving into a deeper position now. And then checks the wire fence behind him to find out where he is in relation to that. Alex Johnson straight away and left. Curve bounced off the plate toward second baseman Sandy Alomar. A waist-high hop for Santos. The toss to Spencer for the out. And Washington has 1 away on the first pitch. Walking up to the plate now, catcher Paul Casanova. Paul grounded out to Alomar in the first inning. Something good to say, Jim Fregosi making some strong throws from short tonight. And his accuracy has been good. And for Jim, this has been a struggle for him. The pitch. Curve in for a strike, and it's 0-1, and understandably so, too, even though you throw on the side before game action. Getting into the ball game and playing under game conditions and finding yourself in different positions and trying to plant yourself properly to make accurate throws. And so, Jim, with each game now, this seems to be an improvement for him. Next delivery is a little low and close for the curveball. The count is 1-1. 1 down, nobody on. Angels lead 2-1, and Wright's next pitch. 1-1 delivery lifted down the right field side. Could be a little problem here. Tony C coming on, can't get to it. Casanova wide turn, and now the ball picked up by Conigliaro. He tossed it back toward the infield and then lobs a toss to Sandy Alomar. So a dying fly ball sliced that way by Casanova in for Washington's 4th hit. And the batter will be third baseman Don Wert. Down and grounded to Fregosi in the second inning. Don Wert with an .077 batting average. Right-hander, the roadrunner, and the pitch to him, and he plants this one foul down the first base side. Strike 1. See, they've given Tim Cullen, the 8th man in the lineup, the nickname The Worm. I don't know why. Broken bat here by Don Wert. And for Biittner, what do they call him? Double I, double T. Well, like the spelling of his name, that would figure. Diittner. Casanova's lead at first, not a very long one. And the pitch, curve, and he just slapped this one foul to the right of the plate. Strike two.
Trying to complete that hairy ride back from the ballpark last night with J.C. Nelson. And when we finally reached a stoplight where there were three young men, and they were looking at all of this awful smoke pouring out of the hood of the car, and finally the one came over, and we said, now everyone keep a straight face as if we don't even know what's going on. And actually, you can't even see through the windshield. And one man shouted, your engine's on fire. And you turned to him and said, no, we're charcoal broiling some steaks for the Washington National Guard. And he just nodded as if to say, well, that's figures. And we drove away.
It was really a candid camera story. The 0-2 pitch. Half swing here, lobs the foul down the first base side. Spencer charging up. Jim makes a fine basket catch of this. Wheels around and fires to Sandy Alomar. Came over to cover at first base, and Casanova gets back. So Jim Spencer with a good play on Don Wert. And the batter will be second baseman Tim Cullen. The one man, that construction worker, you still see the expression on his face when he's holding the flag to stop the car, but at the same time, he wants to wave that flag, wave you on, because he did three of the greatest double takes I've ever seen. He'd look at the car, and he'd look away, and he'd look at the car again, see some more smoke and steam curl out from under the hood. Pitch to Cullen. That's it off the plate. Could be a troublesome play. Stephenson out for it. Guns the throw to first base, and it's there in time. And a fine piece of reception work on the part of Jim Spencer as he reached around Cullen to handle the throw. So for the Angels, or for Washington against the Angels, who did some good defensive work here in the fourth inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, a man left, and at the end of four, it's the Angels 2 and Washington 1.
Does F310 work? In a major test, motorists switched from the gasoline they had previously used to Chevron gasoline with F310 for 2,000 miles. Many of them were women, and after the test, we asked some of them what they thought about F310. Mrs. Donna Sievers.
Seems to be driving better. It just made me feel more comfortable and more safe driving my car, knowing that I wasn't going to have to be stalled someplace.
Mrs. Fairfax Walkup.
The pickup was so very good. When you want to, for instance, get by a car, and that's another frightful point for women. And it would just scoot by, That worked fine.
Does F310 work? Mrs. Beverly Wagner.
And I told them that good news, I don't have to look for another car because it's performing beautifully.
Mrs. Gertrude Westcott.
It's a very smooth ride, and we are getting beautiful mileage.
Miss Vicki Dutton.
I trusted my car more.
F310. It works.
Moving on to the fifth inning of play, this is Don Wells with Dick Enberg and Dick Nelson, and a delight to have you with us this evening. Roger Repoz will start off the fifth inning. Angels lead 2-1. Here's Dick.
All right, Don, the first pitch by McLain is upstairs for breaking ball. Rogers flies to left and pops to second. The Angels 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Washington 1 run, 4 hits, and no error. McLain's 1-ball pitch. Repoz swings and whips it foul down into the right field corner high, and that one might reach the second tier. Hits the facing of the second deck and then bounds down into the lower seat. Senators got a run in the first inning. A walk to Harrah, single by Maddox. Howard walked to load the bases. And the run scored as Wright tried to pick Maddox off second base, but the run would have scored anyway because the next man, Billings, hit into a ground ball out. This one is pulled to the right side. Up with it is Cullen, on to first for the out. Roger reaching outside and then pulling the ball to the right side, and Cullen has him for the first out in the fifth inning. Here's Alex Johnson. He extended his hitting streak to 8 games with a single up the middle his last time at bat. He walked in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. Pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
This is KMND Radio in Mesa, Arizona. Mesa Community College baseball coming up at 6:45 on KMND FM 93.3 on your dial.
Denny McLain wastes no time. He's already thrown 2 fastballs inside, and the count is 2-0 to Alex Johnson. And McLain McLain rocks right back into motion. The curveball is swung on a drive to center field, hit well, but Maddox is playing deep anyway, and he's there to put the leather around it for the second out. Alex got a hanging curveball, but couldn't pull it. 2 away, and here's Jim Fregosi. He's fouled out, and he grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Well, McLain and Wright, both fast workmen, as Larry Knapp, our guest on the pregame show, indicated. He likes to be behind the plate when 2 men such as McLain and Wright are at work because you don't have time to think. The ball is coming right up to the plate as soon as the pitcher gets it. McLain is ready. He winds. The pitch to Fregosi is swung on a high foul fly, hooked back into the lower deck to the left, over to watch it fall in Don Wert. 2 outs in the 5th inning. No one on. 2-1 the Angels lead. They got their 2 runs in the 2nd and 4 straight singles. Conigliaro, Stephenson, Alomar, and Wright. Alomar and Wright getting the RBIs. They had 2 singles and a walk in the 3rd, but in between Fregosi knocked into a double play, and a leadoff double by Stephenson in the 4th. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 2 strikes to Fregosi. Spencer would be next. McLain kicks and deals. Outside with a fastball. 1-2. Denny barely had time to get his sign. And he comes right back. 1-2. Fregosi swings and misses. Strike 3. For Denny McLain, that is his first strikeout. And it comes to close out the 5th inning. The Angels are retired in order for the first time in the ball game. And at the halfway mark in this one, 4.5 innings in the book. It's the Angels 2, the Senators 1. Here's a reminder for all you ladies in our listening audience. Free tickets for A-Day with the ladies at Anaheim Stadium on June 28th are available now at all Vons Markets and Sears stores in Orange County. Angel players will explain and demonstrate some of the game's finer points for you ladies. And players' wives and children are staging a fashion show. There'll be fabulous prizes, and we'd like to remind you that tickets are limited. They expect a big turnout. So be sure to get yours early for A-Day with the ladies. The date is Monday, June 28th. Monday, June 28th. It'll be our pleasure to be there with the Angel ball players and say hello to the female fans of Southern California. Clyde Wright has allowed 4 base hits, all singles. Maddox with a single in the 1st inning as the Senators got their only run on a couple of walks, a single, and an error. Gave up a single to Frank Howard in the 3rd and an infield hit to Toby Harrah in the 3rd, but a double play, Maddox bouncing into a 1-4-3 twin killing, kept the Senators off the board in the 3rd, and a 1-out looping single by Paul Casanova in the 4th inning. Denny McLain lined to right fielder Tony Conigliaro his first time up. He'll be followed by Toby Harrah, and then Elliott Maddox. Wright trying to get his 5th win of the year. He's 4-4. Our broadcast time Friday night from Boston, Fenway Park, will be 4:10 Pacific Daylight. And then day game Saturday and Sunday. Wright kicks the pitch. Swung on and missed. Fastball. McLain gets his swing. Not a bad hitter. Wright picks up the sign and his 1-strike pitch. McLain swings through another fastball. 0-2. To Denny McLain, leading off the Washington 5th inning. The Senators trailed the Angels by a run, 2-1. Wright's ready. His 2-strike delivery. Swung on and missed. A low sinking fastball. McLain, the 2nd strikeout victim. And with 1 out, here's Toby Harrah to face Clyde Wright. Detroit at Minnesota tonight. Cleveland at Milwaukee. Those games just getting underway. Baltimore and Chicago the same. This afternoon, the Yankees defeated the Red Sox 6-1. Stan Bonson getting his 3rd win. Sonny Siebert absorbing his 1st loss after 9 straight wins. The big man for the Yankees, Bobby Mercer, he had 2 home runs, his 9th and 10th, both with no one on. Pitch to Harrah. Curveball high and away, ball 1. Harrah walked and scored in the 1st inning and was credited with an infield hit when his ground ball deep to short. And Frigosi's high throw pulled Spencer off the bag, and Harrah credited with a hit. Scrooge outside, 2-0. In the National League, St. Louis at Pittsburgh, Cleveland against Walker. Doubleheader in Cincinnati and Chicago, and the Reds are tied 2-2 in the 7th inning. First game. Houston at Atlanta, Philadelphia at San Diego, Montreal at Los Angeles later. The Mets beat San Francisco this afternoon 5-2. Harrah swings and sends a high fly ball to center. Repoz coming in for it. He's there and makes the catch. 2 outs in the Senator 5th inning. Here's center fielder Elliott Maddox. He singled to right and grounded into a double play. In the game at San Francisco, Art Shamsky hit a home run. Williams in relief got the win. Marshall the loser. Juan Marshall now 8-3. The Dodgers, as they host Montreal tonight, have a chance to gain some ground on the high-flying Giants. First pitch to Maddox is out of the strike zone, ball 1. It'll be Carl Morton, the right-hander, going for Montreal at Dodger Stadium against Bill Singer. Bill is 3-9. And Willie Davis going for his 25th straight game to get a base hit. Maddox fouls this one back on the ground. 1-1. See where Charles Finley has given his young left-handed pitcher, Vida Blue, a powder blue Cadillac to drive. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to short. Fregosi has an in-between hop. Fires to first for the out. Clyde Wright works an easy 1-2-3 5th inning. And after 5 in Washington, Angels 2, Senators 1.
When you say bud, you've said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say bud, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. There is no other one. There's only something left. Because the king of thieves is leading all the rest. When you say bud, say it. It all.
Grounds crew has resurfaced the infield portion of Kennedy Stadium. And we're set to go in the 6th inning with Jim Spencer leading off for the Angels, Ken McMullen, then Tony Conigliaro to try to add to the Angel lead. It's 2-1. Denny McLain into the windup. The right-hander delivers the curveball upstairs, ball 1. McLain has had trouble with the slow curve. Looks at his hand as if to say, now what are you doing to me? As that high overhand curveball has not been breaking down. It's been hanging up off the bill of the helmet. 1-0 pitch. Change is in for a strike. A straight change at the knees. 1-1 to Spencer, who is 1 for 2 in the game. The Angels with 7 hits off McLain in the first 5 innings, but only the 2 runs when they put 4 singles together in a row. Low with this pitch. 2-1. Oakland A's are idle tonight and tomorrow night and will open a weekend series here in Washington Friday night. 2-1 pitch by McLain, swung on and fouled on the ground to Fred Kenney, the first base coach, by Spencer. And congratulations to fine young basketball talent. Curtis Rowe has signed a $500,000 contract with the Detroit Pistons. We wish the former UCLA All-American the very best in his NBA career. 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Ground ball off the glove of Howard. Picked up by Cullen. He goes to McLain for the out. What a play. Spencer hit a low skidding one-hopper wide of first. Howard, with that long reach, got his glove on it, deflected it to the second baseman Cullen, who was coming that way anyway to the left to back it up. Rolled right to Cullen, and McLain alertly covered first base, and the 3-4-1 putout robbed Spencer of a base hit. Here's Ken McMullen. He has walked and was out on a hard ground ball to short. McLain delivers from the side, a curveball that sweeps outside. Ball 1. McLain comes right back, 1-0. Fastball low, 2-0. Man of many speeds and many deliveries, Denny McLain. As a sign, His 2-ball pitch. McMullen checks his swing. It cost him a strike. Fastball. 2-1. Still a lot of McMullen fans here in Washington. He was very popular while playing for the Senators. 2-1 pitch. Low, 3-1. And Mac now, the home run leader with the Angels with 8. Sandy Alomar has regained the RBI top spot on the Angel Ball Club with his 20th tonight. 3-1 pitch. McMullen swings and sends a one-hopper to Wert deep at third. He has it. Long throw in time. 2 away. Tony Conigliaro, an infield hit behind second and scored, and he fouled out to left. Stuart Tony's kid brother, Billy Conigliaro, has moved into the top 10 in the American League batting derby. Billy C. just under 300 with a 297 mark and 49 base hits. That's as many as Alex Johnson started with tonight, and he's the Angels' best. McLain delivers. Tony C. sends a high hopper over Wert's head deep at short is Harrah. He throws, not in time, and it was close. Harrah showing quite an arm because he actually took 2 steps on the outfield grass, and when he picked the ball out of his glove, looked at it before he threw as if he had plenty of time. Had he braced quickly and thrown across, he might have gotten Tony C. on a most difficult play. That's about as much range, and they said that was the one negative in Harrah's playbook, that he did not move that well side to side, but he covered a lot of ground, and with that great arm almost threw out Conigliaro, who has his second infield hit. With 2 outs, Conigliaro at first base. John Stephenson has a single and a double, 2 for 2. Looks at a fastball for a strike. The Angels lead 2-1 on 8 hits, twice as many as the Senators have collected off Clyde Wright. We're in the 6th inning, and Tony C. is at first base with 2 outs. 1 strike pitch. Stevenson fouls it off the head of the back, cues it toward Sandy Alomar, the on-deck hitter. The small car expert has asked me to invite you to come in. Let him help you pick the perfect Datsun for you. Remember, he's the expert, your Southern California Datsun dealer. See him soon. Two strikes on John Stephenson. A couple of exchanges of baseballs between Casanova plate umpire Larry Knapp and the pitcher McLain. He's found one that he likes, and with 2 strikes, he walks behind the pitching surface, pinwheels his arm once, pulls up the sleeve on his pitching arm, and now right foot on the front edge of the rubber. Conigliaro leads. Here's the pitch. Inside with a slider, 1-2 the count. Angels 2, Washington 1. McLain's 1-2 pitch. Stephenson looks at a high curve again. That high overhand curveball does not get down into the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield playing Stephenson toward left field. The pitch. Bounced off the plate toward second. McMullen has it on the second hop. On to first base for the out. So Cullen to Howard for the final out in the 6th inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. To the home half of the 6th inning with a score Angels 2, Washington 1. And with a word from the proud bird, here's Don.
Well, there's always a wonderful feeling in the air when a team comes home after a successful road trip. In fact, there's always something wonderful about any kind of homecoming, including when you go back to your old hometown, see the place you came from, and the people who live there. Well, this summer, come home with Continental Airlines and bring the family. Continental makes it easy with family fares that help take the high cost out of family flying. So this summer, why not take the family to see the family? Show your youngsters where it was happening when you were their age. Continental certainly makes it easy and economical to fly back to Chicago or Kansas City, Denver, Dallas, Houston, Seattle, or dozens of other hometowns. Simply call Continental's partner in getting things done for you, your travel agent, or call Continental and ask about Continental's low family fares. And then come home this summer on Continental Airlines, the proud bird with the golden tail.
It sounds like the thing to do, and of course, so many of the folks in the Midwest, the Southwest, Northwest, who eagerly await notice from you that you'll be visiting the grandparents, aunts and uncles during the summer months, and we hope when you make your vacation plans, you do think first of Continental Airlines, because they'll take a good care of you. And that's especially true of the family, with not only the lovely hostesses in the cabin, but the director of passenger service. It gives an extra hand, and perhaps in many ways a man in the cabin more sensitive to the female passenger and giving them special attention, as well as to the kids. So fly Continental this summer. Here's a man who can make that horsehide fly. Big Frank Howard. The shift on. McMullen, Fregosi, and Alomar all on the shortstop side. Spencer alone on the right side. And Wright winds the pitch. Outside with a fastball. For the first time in the series, last time up, Howard shot the ball to right field for a base hit, taking advantage of the lack of defense on that side of the diamond. He walked and singled tonight. A 2-1 Angel lead the pitch. Low with a fastball. 2-0. The attitude of the Angel pitchers almost to the man is they will not let Frank Howard beat them, which means, in this case, that if Howard is going to get a base hit, he's going to have to swing a Clyde Wright's pitch or he will be walked. Wright winds his 2-0 delivery. Swung on, bounced off the glove of Wright to the second base side. Alomar up with it, throws to first and gets him. A fine play. Wright, as the ball was shot high over his head, leaped, got the fingertips of his glove on it, and deflected it into a more difficult play for Alomar, who had to move from 10 feet on the shortstop side of second to about 15 feet on the second base side, and gloved the ball stretching as far as he could to his left, and then on the run whipped his throw to Spencer just in time to get the lumbering Howard, who was moving up the line. 1-4-3 on the putout. Here's Dick Billings. He's 0 for 2 on a pair of ground balls. Right-handed hitter, the pitch by Wright. Change, it swung on, high hopper right to Ken McMullen at third. He has it, throws to first, 2 away. You said it, this game is moving along. 2 outs in the 6th inning, and we've played about an hour and 15 minutes. The hitter will be right fielder Larry Biittner. Biittner needs a base hit to extend his hitting streak. He's hit safely in the last 6 games. He is struck out and grounded out. Doesn't look quite as smooth against the left-hander Wright as he has against the right-handed pitching in this series. Wright's delivery outside with a fastball. Paul Casanova would be next. Oakland coming to town. They set a new team record for games in which they've hit at least 1 home run. Swung on, bounced by the mound, near the bag. Alomar has it on the run, on to first for the out. And there go the Senators in the 6th inning as Wright, breezing along, retires them in order for the 2nd straight frame. And after 6 at Kennedy Memorial Stadium, the score remains the Angels 2, Washington 1.
Hello, small car expert. You're on the air. You want to turn your radio down, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. A small car expert, did you tell that last caller that there's a perfect Datsun for everyone?
Yes, I did. Small car expert, you're on the air.
I'm looking for a zippy 2-door sedan.
Try the Datsun 510. Goes from 0 to 60 in less than 14 seconds.
But it's got to be comfortable.
It is. Small car expert.
Listen, I've had it with my small cars. Kids climbing on me, dog with a hot tongue panting all over the back seat. I need more room.
I'd suggest the Datsun 510 4-door. Plenty of room and at a very low cost.
How about a station wagon?
Datsun makes a 5-door wagon. Plenty of extras included in the purchase price.
Does Datsun make a truck?
Yep, the perfect pickup. Little Hustler, America's best-selling import truck. Listen, I got to take another call. Anything else?
Yeah, is my husband with you?
Drive a Datsun, then decide.
Be sure to see the full line of Datsuns at Auto Expo Sports Arena now through June the 6th. Angels 2, Washington 1 into the 7th inning and more play. Here's Don.
All right, Rich. Sandy Alomar leads it off. Sandy 1 for 2 and a swing and a miss on a McLain fastball for strike 1. So McLain picking up in pitching strength as he has moved along in this game. And these two men just complete the pitching matchup just as it was billed for this evening's game, with the Angels leading 2-1. A very fast game. A shot out of the left center field. Maddox is there, however, and just makes a couple of easy steps off to his right to handle the line drive off the bat of Alomar. So 1 down. That will bring up Angel pitcher Clyde Wright. And Clyde, on a humid evening, taking the towel, wiping away some of the perspiration. And now about ready to get up and make his move toward the plate. He'll be followed by Roger Repoz. Said we'd have a little fog in the Washington area this evening, and apparently that's what we have. Some of it drifts into Kennedy Memorial Stadium. First delivery outside at the letters for ball 1. and the Anacostia River only a few steps away from this ballpark. 1-0 delivery, fastball high and tight, ball 2, 2-0. Clyde with a base hit and an RBI on the second. And the most important one for the Angels, that checks Stephenson across, and that's the run. The Angels lead by right now. Next delivery, curveball high, ball 3. McLain a little bit upset with plate umpire Larry Knapp, so Denny did not immediately accept the return throw from Casanova. He just spun around and turned his back toward home plate. Working back with a 3-0 pitch through this high, ball 4. So Clyde is on, and the batter will be Roger Repoz. Earlier in the season, I think it was at County Stadium in Milwaukee, when Denny had a no-hitter going. He had a no-hitter going for about 5. And then he got into a verbal sparring match with a plate umpire on a couple of calls, and he also gave up a few base hits in the inning. And the next thing he knew, he had given up 4 runs in the inning, and then he had some additional words, and Lane was tossed out on the spot. But he had a no-hitter going for 5 innings. Repoz drives it foul up on the screen for strike 1. And Denny, a guy with a kind of an interesting boiling point. You don't know whether to read it low or read it high. It depends upon the day. Repoz has gone 0 for 3 against him. Popped up, grounded out, and Clyde shot to left field. Fastball high and tight, 1-1. Alex Johnson in the on-deck area. So the Angels trying to pick up something additional for Clyde Wright, and Clyde starting it off here with 1 out and the base on balls. McLain with a 1-1 pitch. Off-speed curve, a little bit low, ball 2, 2-1. And there a pitch that was in a questionable period, and McLain making a motion to Larry Knapp as though to indicate that you feel it was low, and Knapp indicates, I didn't only feel it was low, I saw that it was low. Here's that fastball, that sinking fastball, and Repoz right over the top on the pitch, and the count is 2-2. Frank Howard playing behind Clyde Wright at first base, with the left-hander Repoz up, and Howard rather close to the chalk. 2-2 delivery, and Repoz with a swing and a miss, belt high fastball here. So Repoz is 0 for 4 against McLain, and that will bring along Alex Johnson. McLain is really something. You watch him pitch, and you think that all of a sudden he's hit a flat spot, that it looks as though he doesn't have much in the way of stuff. And then he turns right around, and when it's needed, then he turns it on. In this case, he delivered 2 fastballs, a sinking fastball, and came up then to Repoz with the next one, and got him on strikes with good, quick stuff. Here's Alex Johnson. The pitch. A.J. takes the fastball close, ball 1. Alex 1 for 2. He started out at 258. He walked in the first, and then came the base hit in the third. Then a fly ball to center field in the 5th inning. Alex with a swing and a miss here. This looked like a slider thrown by McLain. He threw it hard. The count 1-1. And he does possess a very good slider. Now we have Billy Gogolewski and Joe Grisenda throwing in the bullpen for Washington. A swing and a miss here, and again he threw some heat. The count 1-2. Ball 1, strike 2 on A.J. Fregosi in the on-deck area, wondering if he will have a chance here in the 7th inning. Whipped 2 away of the pitch. Alex almost hit with it. In fact, I guess it did. It got him. Tried to jump away from it, but it caught the uniform. So Alex tosses the bat aside and wanders up the line. Apparently it got him on the left forearm. Left forearm or left wrist. So Alex now moving to first base, and on to second base goes Clyde Wright, and Fregosi will have a chance. Jim tonight, 0 for 3. McLain has been able to handle him well. He fouled him out to Casanova, got him on a double play, and then in the 5th inning struck him out. 2 down, the pitch to Fregosi. Low and away with it, ball 1. And again, McLain fired this one hard to Fregosi, but missed the target. Clyde Wright at second. Alex Johnson with an enormously long lead at first. The pitch, slider low and outside, 2-0. So Denny just huffs and puffs a little more on the mound as he has worked behind Fregosi 2-0. Ready, and the delivery. Breaking ball, a little low with it, and now McLain hollering in to Larry Knapp about the call, and so from long range, he and Knapp with a word exchange, and the count is 3-0. Of course, so frequently, the Angels against McLain, we have seen this happen. 3-0 pitch. And Knapp says you missed with that one, ball 4, so the Angels have the bases loaded, 2 away. Denny's history against the Angels, and it's held true with other teams, and now we're going to have a little quiet down period of the mound as Sid Hudson comes out and Frank Howard goes out, and Paul Casanova has already gone out, and he has already been the first to admonish Denny, look, don't get yourself all upset, because I say I don't know exactly what has occurred against other teams, but as long as McLain has been in this league and pitching against the Angels, it's been that way, even though he, in his overall, his won and loss record against the California club shows a plus, not much of a plus, however. But so frequently, he has managed to get himself upset because of the man working behind the plate. Things wouldn't go right for him in a couple of pitches. And perhaps the workman that he is and the craftsman that he is, he feels in a very deserved way he should get these pitches. But in the case of Larry Knapp, Larry saying no on the 4 deliveries made to Fregosi. So Jim is the man who loads the bases. And the bases have become loaded because of 2 walks and a hit batsman. The batter, Jim Spencer, and Jim is 1 for 3. So the Angels with a big chance here in the 7th inning, despite the 2 outs. Deep in the right side, Howard and Cullen. Runners away to their leads, and the pitch by McLain, and Spence takes the fastball high, ball 1. And there was a pitch he couldn't question Larry Knapp about his decision on that particular delivery. Well inside to Spencer and riding high. Pumps it up again, and the 1-0 delivery, and Spence hits the fly ball. It's going to be shallow in right field. Cullen is going out for it. The second baseman backs out under it and takes care of it. And the Angels leave the bases loaded. For the Californians, then, no runs, no hits, no errors. 3 men left, and the score at the end of the top of the 7th, the Angels 2 and Washington 1.
You know, to keep your car's engine running young, it's important to change the oil regularly. And if you have any doubt as to how often that should be, check with your standard Chevron dealer. He'll recommend the best oil change schedule for your particular make and model car. To do everything you can for the life of your car's engine, you should also make sure you're using a superior Chevron motor oil. Chevron motor oils are designed to deliver top performance for your money. And that means oils you can count on in the winter cold to cling to your engine's vital moving parts for faster starts and smoother running. And oils tough enough to hold up under the hottest freeway driving. So whatever Chevron oil you use, Chevron Custom, Chevron Supreme, or Chevron Special, you can expect top performance. Keep your car running young. Change the oil as often as your standard Chevron dealer recommends. And make sure it's a change for the better. A change to Chevron motor oils. Only at standard stations and Chevron dealers.
We move along now to the last half of the 7th inning, and we're going to pause right here and allow KPRO and San Bernardino and Riverside and all of our network stations to identify themselves. This is the Angels Radio Network.
You're listening to the Big 1510. Command Radio. KMND, Mesa's own.
It's 1 minute after 6 in Mesa.
Well, the last of the 7th. And here comes catcher Paul Casanova, then Don Wert, and then Tim Cullen. Clyde Wright has stacked the Senators on 4 hits. Has pushed them aside in order in the 5th inning and again in the 6th. Wind and the pitch on the way to the right-hander Casanova, and it's outside, ball 1. Casanova with a fly ball, just a soft fly ball single down the right field line in the 4th inning. Right back with a 1-0 pitch. Casanova fouls off the fastball, and it's 1-1. Single by Elliott Maddox in the 1st inning. There was an infield hit by Toby Harrah in the 3rd, and a single by Frank Howard in the 3rd, and then the fly ball single by Casanova. Way here, late innings, and the Angels hang on 2-1. 1-1 delivery to Casanova, swung on a miss. Casanova couldn't wait. He lunged at the pitch, and Wright slowed the speed somewhat. Count 1-2. The Angels have an off day tomorrow and will travel tomorrow morning on to Boston. Ready themselves for that weekend series. 1-2 delivery is Kurt. He came around. Casanova stumbled across the plate in pursuit of this pitch and trying to hold his swing and couldn't. So on a breaking ball by Clyde Wright that he kept down to Casanova. He gets him on strike. He'll bring up third baseman Don Wert. For Clyde Wright, that is his third strikeout. Wert 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded to short. And then on a good fielding play by Jim Spencer, Jim got him on his top foul in the fourth inning. Wright's pitch. Curve. And he whacks this one toward short. 2 big hops to Fregosi and the gun-like throw to first base for the out. Don Wert is gone. That'll bring up second baseman Tim Cullen. We have some noise off in the distance, and it appears that either the natives are getting restless or there's a train traveling down the Anacostia River, that it might be a little, some of the preliminary sounds to a storm here in the Washington area. Deliver to Cullen, fastball over the inside edge for a strike on 1. Sounds a trifle like some rolling thunder in the background, and thunder showers, scattered thunder showers expected tonight. 1 strike delivery. And Skeeter turns this over and throws it low and away, 1-1. So what a hookup it has been. Clyde Wright against Denny McLain. Out 1-1. Right-hander Tim Cullen. Here it is. Cullen takes a fastball for a strike. 1-2. Just ran that right down through there. Cullen after grounding out to McMullen, and then the good fielding play by both men involved, catcher John Stephenson and Jim Spencer, on one that he chopped out in front of the plate in the fourth inning. 1-2 offering by Clyde with 2 down and nobody on. Curve, broken bat, ground ball to short. Fregosi handles it there. There's the throw, and it's there in time. The right has him in order again for the third inning in a row. With nothing across, the score at the end of 7, Angels 2, Washington 1. There.
When you say but, you've said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say but, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. When you say but, you've said the word that means you like to do it all. When you say but, it means you want the beer that's got a taste that's number 1.
The Budweiser Challenge. Quote, in brewing Bud, our choice is to go all the way. We hope beer matters enough to...
Let's get back to Dick. All right, down the first pitch to Ken McMullen is high and inside with a fastball, ball 1. Mack in the ball game has grounded hard to short, walked and grounded to third, 0 for 2. The Angels 2 runs, 8 hits. Washington 1 run, 4 hits. The pitch, slider outside, 2-0. And they're bowling upstairs now. A lot of rumbles, and the lightning sparks start to flash in the sky overhead. The pitch. Check swing roller that is glove, backhanded by McLain on his knees. He throws the first for the out. McLain able to skid to his right and backhand the ball, and then just turn on his knees and throw to Howard for the out. Tony Conigliaro, a couple of infield hits in 3 at-bats. There was rain forecast, thunder showers for tonight. And unless they're missing to the south or north, it appears that we're bound to have some rain before this ball game is over, despite the fact that it's moving along at a very fast pace. Just a little over an hour and a half old, and we're in the 8th inning with 1 out. Tony C, 2 for 3. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Conigliaro with an infield hit with 1 out in the second. Then Stephenson followed with a single. Alomar singled 1 run in, and then Wright singled in the second. That's the ball game as far as the Angels are concerned. 4 straight base hits. On Wright single, with runners at third and second, Alomar was thrown out at the plate by right fielder Larry Biittner. John Stephenson next. Clyde Wright has retired 11 men in a row, and since the third inning, Denny McLain has allowed only 2 base hits, although the Angels loaded the bases on 2 walks and a hit batsman in the 7th, but Spencer popped up to end the inning. High and away with a hard slider, 1-2 to Tony C. Conigliaro, understandably very pleased about heading back to Boston to see all of his family and friends over the weekend. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, and here comes the rain, and it's coming down in sheets. There wasn't that first drizzle. It's just all of a sudden the sky's open, and all the players and umpires are sprinting for cover. Oh, my. Incredible. There was not the first drop, and all of a sudden it was raining a torrential downpour. The fans caught down in the lower box seats. They're scrambling up the aisles, but many of them will be soaking to their skins before they make it underneath the overhang. Incredibly quick shower. The grounds crew trying to get the tarp out onto the field as the rain just swept in. I think one other time here in Washington it rained just like this with no advance warning at all. There wasn't that preliminary drizzle and a few drops here and there to warn of its storm, but this time it's just one moment dry, the next moment as hard as you'd ever want to see it rain. The tarp now is being moved out across second base area in the outfield, and they'll try to drag that out over the infield dirt. Already it's rained so hard there are puddles forming on the infield dirt. That's how hard it rained in so short a time. So in the 8th inning, with Tony Conigliaro up in the count 1 ball and 2 strikes, the heavens have begun to cry, and they are crying big tears. And the lightning cracking all around and the thunder rolling in a true summer storm in Washington, D.C. The tarp has covered the second base side of the infield, but the third base and shortstop areas remain uncovered. And now men hustling as hard as they can on this ground crew to try to get the cover. Have pulled it across the mound area and now to the third base foul line. These are the kinds of storms usually that end as quickly as they begin. Crack of lightning and thunder close by. That one was a near hit.
That was a giant sycamore tree that fell that time, Dick. This section of the country, I don't know, as weathermen, I guess, will refer to them in different ways across the country, but it's really a squall is what it amounts to. And when they indicated scattered thunder showers for this evening, this being the first one that we have experienced, and it may possibly let up before too long. Oh, look at that, folks. That ran straight down to the bridge over the river. And judging from the time interval, it had to be close.
In case you joined us late, here's the story of the ball game. In the first inning, the Senators got their only runoff, starter Clyde Wright. Harrah, the leadoff man, walked. Elliott Maddox followed with a single to right, and Howard walked below the bases. With the bases loaded, no one out, the Angels tried to pick Maddox off second base, but the throw hit Maddox, skidded away, and Harrah scored from third. That's the only run. The Angels took the lead in the second after McMullen smashed a low hopper to short and was thrown out. Conigliaro beat out a hit up the middle. Stephenson singled to center. Alomar drove in one run with a single to right center, and Clyde Wright single to right field got in the other. A 2-1 ball game. Since the second, the pitching of Wright and McLain negating any offensive thrust by either club, although the Angels did have the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 7th on a couple of walks and a hit batsman when Spencer popped out. And for the Senators, their only serious threat came in the third, an infield hit, but then the double play by Maddox, and Howard singled, and Billings made it out to end it. Since then, Wright has allowed 1 hit, and he has retired the last 11 men in a row. And it is raining very, very hard at Kennedy Stadium in Washington. The field is now covered, but we're going to have a considerable delay.
Sitting down at the bench in the Washington dugout before the game with Ted Williams, and one of the Washington Stadium police sergeants came over and said, and Williams turned to him and said, "What about the forecast for tonight?" And the sergeant said, "It will not rain tonight because the wind is coming from the wrong direction." So Ted turned to me and he said, "Well, that takes care of it." And I said, there's only one thing about it, Ted. I think he's the same police sergeant when we were back here in that television tape, was it last year, that we had the same situation, and this could have been the same man who said, "Oh, don't worry, no rain for today's game," and all of a sudden we were inundated here. In fact, both dugouts were flooded on that occasion. So we will worn all of our network stations now to get ready to fill on a local basis. But first of all, a reminder for all of you about your plans for the 4th of July. Now's the time to make your reservations for another fireworks extravaganza. We're having one of nature's best here tonight. But this one will be at Anaheim Stadium following the Angels' 6 p.m. game with the division-leading Oakland A's. And last year's show was a sellout, so we suggest that you obtain your tickets early. Enjoy both events, game and fireworks, at the regular game price. So no change in the price cost. And tickets are on sale now at the Anaheim Stadium box office, open 9 to 5 daily, at Mutual and Liberty agencies and at UC Banks in Orange County. And to give our station some additional time, we'll check over the scoreboard. Detroit will be at Minnesota tonight. Cleveland plays at Milwaukee. Baltimore at Chicago. And today the Yankees defeated Boston 6-1. Stan Bonson, the winner, and Sonny Siebert losing his first after a 9-0 record. And Bobby Mercer hit homers numbers 9 and 10. St. Louis at Pittsburgh tonight. First game of 2 Cubs at Cincinnati. The Cubs defeated Cincinnati 6-3. The win to Hands, the loss to Wilcox. Banks hit his first homer. That came in the 7th with 2 on. May had his 10th in the 9th with nobody on. So that is the first of 2. Houston leads Atlanta 1-0 at the end of 5. Wilson against Reed. Philadelphia will be at San Diego. Montreal and the Dodgers play in Los Angeles. And today at Candlestick, the Mets beat San Francisco 5-2. Williams, the winner, 1-1. And Marichal, the loser, 8-3. And Chansky hit a bases empty homer in the 8th inning. Rain still driving down here at Kennedy Memorial Stadium. And all we can do now is just settle back and wait. Last night, a power failure for some 32 minutes. So we'll see what sort of a rain delay we have this evening and if they are able to continue the game at all. As it stands right now, the Angels lead at 2-1. And they have 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. And Washington 1 run, 4 hits, and no errors. So that's about all the information we can give you from Washington. Dick Nelson will keep in check with you along the network line and keep you posted as to the way the weather goes here in Washington, D.C. So that's it for the moment. This is the Angels Radio Network. Just minutes ago from Kennedy Memorial Stadium in Washington, Larry Knapp, the senior umpire of this crew, came out and they took one look at things and said, let's forget it for the night. Earlier, he had come out with one of his fellow umpires. They pulled the tarp halfway off the infield. And at that time, Knapp gave an indication the infield was still in good shape. So they were just going to see that if perhaps they could take the tarp off and we could continue this one, though the outfield has to be quite a quagmire. And then with the infield, with the tarp pulled halfway off, all of a sudden it started to rain harder. Now it's let up again, and it seems to be just a very fine drizzle. But you have to consider the outfield as well, and it's of course, with a shadow out there, the indication, too, the automobile that brings in pitchers from the bullpen areas and the tracks being left. And muddy tracks indeed as he works around the warning path itself and now goes out through the gate in the right field corner. So Larry Knapp, the senior man behind the plate, has said, let's forget it, and the Angels win it in the 8th inning as the rains came. So Jupiter Pluvius has provided an Angel victory, and perhaps this is what the California club needs to get things rolling in the proper way as Clyde Wright picks up his 5th win against 4 defeats. The Angels win at 2-1 with 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 8 men left. Washington 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. They have stranded 4 men, and it took an hour and 37 minutes of game time. Denny McLain, the loser, and Denny was pacing up and down in the Washington dugout earlier as the rain continued to fall, and McLain now winds up with his 9th loss against 4 victories. And the attendance on this rainy night, 3,606. We hope to have Clyde Wright, the winning pitcher on Angel Report, as our guest, and that will follow in just a moment.